for is the money and not the fame.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So you just heard the voice of legendary former Olympic gold medalist, former 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king, former pay-per-view king, Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya, superstar boxer, iconic Hall of Famer, who has turned into founder and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. He once promoted 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's currently the unified WBC, WBA super middleweight world champion and going into a unification bout with undefeated 2-division world champion, currently the WBO reigning super middleweight world champion superstar British boxer Billy Joe Saunders. With that said, the purses have been revealed for Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. And it is stated that Canelo Alvarez is going to make $15 million for this fight, and Billy Joe Saunders is set to make $2.5. And on the back end, Canelo Alvarez could possibly, depending on the sales, depending on the gates, live gates, depending on the revenue, they're looking at him possibly maxing out at $25 million, with Billy Joe Saunders maxing out at $3.5 million. So Billy Joe Saunders is set to make a standard $2.5, with Canelo Alvarez making a standard $15 million upfront guaranteed. With Oscar De La Hoya, and when Canelo Alvarez was signed there, he was making a reported $32 million. So Oscar De La Hoya is saying, I completely don't understand what's going on, because when he was signed to me and he was signed with me, all it was about was the money. It wasn't about the legacy. It was about the money, and it was about the fame. Oscar De La Hoya said, we all know it was just about the money, so I don't understand what is the issue. Now he left. He has his own promotional company. He's still with DAZN. He's doing co-promotion deals with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, and he's going to make $15 million with the max number being 25. So Oscar De La Hoya is saying, we was trying to make the biggest fights possible, and he was getting $32 million. So he was making more money with me than he was with now on his own and with doing co-promotions. And Canelo Alvarez, he responded. Canelo Alvarez stated that Oscar De La Hoya and his team have a gag order in the contract as to Canelo Alvarez cannot respond to what Oscar De La Hoya is saying. So Canelo Alvarez is saying that I can't respond publicly to what Oscar De La Hoya is saying, although I see what he's saying. He's able to, talk about what was going on and what took place. I can't talk about what took place. That was part of the agreement. So he knows this. So that's why he's going publicly and, questioning my motive, my moves, and the things that I'm doing, because he knows I cannot respond. This is what Canelo Alvarez had to say. So Canelo Alvarez is saying that Oscar De La Hoya is feeling free and essentially feeling himself and saying whatever he wants because he knows legally Canelo Alvarez cannot respond. Well, I will say this. We know everybody was bragging and reporting that Canelo Alvarez was making $30+ million a fight with Golden Boy and DAZN when he signed that huge $350 million deal with DAZN, okay? And now, there's reports, according to Eddie Hearn, the tickets sold out, 40,000 tickets sold within the first day. And according to Eddie Hearn, they said that it broke Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks' 1978 indoor arena record, okay? So if that's the case, then Canelo Alvarez should be getting far more than $25 million that we know he was making when he was with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. Canelo Alvarez, he stated that, there was things taking place in the contract that he was unaware of, so he wasn't happy with it, and so he wanted to part ways. Oscar De La Hoya is saying that he was trying to make the biggest fights possible, the best competitive fights possible for Canelo Alvarez, but he was refusing. And due to the fact that Canelo Alvarez, he campaigned to fight Avni Yildirim, once former 2-time WBC undefeated Mexican superstar, super middleweight world champion David Benavidez lost his title. that Canelo Alvarez campaigned to fight Avni Yildirim for the vacant WBC title, and the Zone and Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy were unwilling to put on a fight of that magnitude, a low-level fight of that magnitude, and pay Canelo Alvarez $32 million. Canelo Alvarez in his last fight, February 27th, ended up fighting Avni Yildirim anyway. But with that said, Canelo Alvarez, he fought in what was a unification bout for the vacant WBC title on the Zone against the then undefeated WBA super middleweight British superstar boxer world champion Caleb Smith. Okay, so he still fought for the WBC title. He just had to fight against Caleb Smith. He still fought in the Zone, and he still ended up fighting Avni Yildirim. But according to Oscar De La Hoya, he's not making the money that he was making when he was with Golden Boy Promotions. And so Oscar De La Hoya is saying, so what is the problem? If it was when it was with us and you were signed with us, it was about you making as much money as possible and your fame, and not about your legacy. Now it seems that you have now turned the tape. You have turned your attention to your legacy, and now you're willing to take less money to make the competitive fights happen. Canelo Alvarez, 55 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 37 wins by way of knockout. He's 30 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. So, a lot of fans have been calling for Canelo to fight the best opposition. We heard Bernard Hopkins, who's a co-owner in Golden Boy Promotions, a partner in Golden Boy Promotions. He said that Canelo Alvarez is going to have to start fighting the best opposition, the Jamal Charlos, the David Benavidez of the world, if he want to continue, his legacy train. So it seems like Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions wanted to make the best competitive fights, but Canelo Alvarez, he wanted to pick and choose his routes, but they were unwilling to pay the $32 million. So if he's set to make a max number of $25 million, and according to Eddie Hearn, this did record-breaking numbers, then he's $7 million short of what he was making when he was with Oscar De La Hoya. So I don't understand how Oscar De La Hoya was getting over on Canelo Alvarez if he's now going to make less money in more competitive fights. Okay, so we know the fans have been in the boxing world. The pundits have been calling for a Jamal Charlo fight. He had the opportunity to fight Jamal Charlo when he was at 154. He didn't fight him. He moved to 160. He could have fought Billy Joe Saunders for undisputed after he beat Gennady Triple G Golovkin. It was essentially, an issue heading into the Gennady Golovkin fight. As you remember, he had a spat with the WBC because they mandated that he fight Gennady Golovkin, or they was going to strip him of the title. He was not happy with that. Okay, and then he ended up fighting Gennady Golovkin 2 times. We know he had the issue, where he was suspended for testing for the clenbuterol, and after he beat Gennady Golovkin in the second fight, he held the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, and the Ring Magazine belt. He could have fought then Billy Joe Saunders, he could have fought Demetrius Andrade for the undisputed match, but he chose to go in a different direction instead of fighting for undisputed after he stated he wanted to be undisputed middleweight champion. Then he moved up to 160. Jamal Charlo became his mandatory. He decided that he didn't want to face off against Jamal Charlo. He then petitioned to be franchised according to WBC and WBC president Mauricio Suleiman, in which they granted him that wish. So he didn't fight Jamal Charlo. So it just kind of seems as if he's picking and choosing his journey, opposed to fighting the best opposition that's actually out there. He fought Rocky Fielding, Avni Yildirim, Caleb Smith, that didn't put up much of a fight. Now, he did go up to 175, challenge WBO light heavyweight world champion Sergey Kovalev. He won the fight, but Kovalev's performance was not that important and that impressive, to say the least. He didn't assert himself. So these are the moves that Canelo Alvarez has been making, and according to Oscar De La Hoya, he wasn't happy with it, and now he's set to make less money on his own than he was when he was with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. Now he's going into this unification bout with Billy Joe Saunders, and we got to see how this plays out. But make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.